Turkey for a mommy makeover. 38-year-old Kaydell Brown flew from the UK to Istanbul with her sister Leanne, and she had a procedure done at Clinic Expert. Her procedure included a tummy tuck, liposuction, and BBL. The entire process leading up to the surgery was perfect. They even offered a discount for Kaydell, and that's what made her want to do her surgery here. But things took a turn a few hours into the surgery when the doctor came out and told her sister that Kaydell was dead. This is the doctor that performed her surgery, and she said that with these types of procedures, it is very high risk. Now, you would think that things could not get worse, but when Kaydell's body was brought back to the UK, the coroner told her family that large parts of her organs were missing, such as her brain and her heart. During an interview, the sister said that legally they couldn't do anything and that the clinic was allowed to take the organs if they wanted to.
They returned a body, they'd kept pieces of her heart and her intestines.
How hard was that to hear?
Better. I don't think it was allowed, but they said it's legal. They can take what they want. I thought you'd have to ask at least permission from family before you took anything, but
they sent a death certificate straight away and just put there's not even a cause of death.
But a lot of people believe that her organs were removed to sell them.
Facts that one day could save your life. If your car ever gets stuck on the train tracks, look for this blue sign. It'll have a phone number on it, and you can call them and tell them that you're stuck, and they'll alert all oncoming trains. We all hate red eyes in pictures, but if your pupils ever reflect white, you might have something wrong with your eyes, such as cataracts, retina problems, or even eye cancer, but sometimes from weird angles, it may look white, so don't worry. When you go to sleep, keep your car keys near your bed. That way, if you hear someone trying to break into your house in the middle of the night, you can just set off your car alarm and it'll most likely scare them away. Never use bleach to clean cat urine. When mixed with chlorine bleach, creates a toxic gas that is harmful to humans and can even be deadly in large amounts.
If you watch this video, you'll have nightmares. 2 years ago, an account by the name of Blissfully Ironic uploaded a video to TikTok. In the video, he hears a weird sound in his home and goes around to check it out. The video begins with the man searching around his kitchen with a flashlight, trying to find the source of the noise. He then moves outside to his backyard and shines his light along his fence. And that's when we see something a little strange. Something is looking at him from behind the shed, and when we slow the video down, we see a shadowy figure dart away. It looks to be some sort of creature or person. Many people in his comment section were saying he saw some sort of shadowy paranormal being. However, a lot of other people were saying that it could have been an intruder, or maybe the whole thing was just a prank. But what makes this video even more strange is the fact that the TikTok account of Blissfully Ironic that posted this video had previously only uploaded short comedic videos. What do you guys think it was?
A man in Texas killed his adopted son and put him inside of a washing machine where his body was found. A man in Texas has been sentenced to 50 years in jail after his adopted son's body was just found. The child's adoptive mother will also be charged. She was a part of this, and the kid was only 7 years old in this case. His name was Troy Kohler. He was found inside of a washing machine on July 28th back in 2022. Now, 3 years after his murder and after his body was found, he is finally getting justice and his family is finally being sentenced. Troy's first grade teacher had a lot of good things to say about him, how he was such an avid reader. He would go straight to the library after class, read books, and then tell his classmates the stories that he read. His teacher also said he would uplift all of his classmates around him and that he was a future leader. These parents tried to get away with the murder too. They filed a missing persons report to the police. So the police decided, okay, let's go to the house and question them. That's usually the case with missing persons reports. The answers were a little sus to them, so they started investigating the house. That's when they found him in the washing machine. They did some digging and they found text messages that incriminated the parents. You know, the parents were mad that the kid was eating their donuts and their like oatmeal cream pies and stuff like that. Why would you even adopt a kid if you're not going to let him eat what he wants? In the text too, the father said, "I'm going to end up killing him." The autopsy report did reveal that he had many injuries, you know, old and new, so that probably led to his death, and then they stuffed him in the washing machine. The father is getting sentenced to 50 years. Hopefully the mother has something similar coming. These people do not deserve to be outside. Took the life of this poor, innocent little kid.
Fascinating facts that you didn't know. In the 1870s, William Shanks spent 15 years of his life calculating pi to 707 places by hand. However, the last few years were wasted as he made a mistake after the 527th digit. The Nanga Parbat is the only mountain taller than 8,000 meters whose maiden summit was done solo. The climber, Herman Buell, did so by taking methamphetamine and reaching the summit after a 19-hour-long climb from his camp. Paul Stanley of the rock band Kiss was born half deaf with level 3 microtia, leaving him without an ear canal in his right ear. In 2005, Doug Heckman read the EULA before he installed some PC software. The agreement included a clause offering financial compensation to licensees who actually read the license agreement. He emailed the company, and the company sent him a check for $1,000.
About you, and it's no one else like you is what they're getting. Positive vibes only. Shout out to King Saul's boss in the build about you, and it's no one else.
Was in the passenger seat on Interstate 80 in Pennsylvania when a rock thrown from an overpass crashed through the windshield and struck her in the face, blinding her in one eye, shattering her skull, and nearly killing her. The rock had been thrown by a group of teenage boys who were engaged in a reckless spree, stealing steaks, smashing windows with bats, tearing through cornfields, and gathering heavy stones specifically to hurl at passing vehicles. After the impact, they laughed, cheered, and even returned to the scene twice more before convicted, and several received prison time. The trauma completely upended Sharon's family, and 2 years later, her husband Randy, who had tirelessly fought for stricter overpass protections and campaigned for legislative change, tragically took his own life, apparently overwhelmed by the financial and emotional toll of the horrible incident.
Sauce the boss, yo, sauce the boss, of course.
Shows the convicted Idaho killer being pulled over just months before he committed the murders. In the footage, he is being questioned by police during a traffic stop, and he's getting a citation for going over the speed limit. He's stopped in his white Hyundai Elantra by a Latah County Sheriff's deputy for traveling at 42 miles per hour in a 35 mile per hour zone. The deputy told him he was speeding, and he admits to not wearing a seatbelt when he was pulled over. And he said to the deputy, "I'm just being honest with you." And the deputy responded, "Yup, I appreciate that." Ultimately, he received a $10 citation for not wearing a seatbelt, but is just warned about speeding. This was in August 2022, just 3 months before he committed the murders.
I get a phone number from you.
Yeah, why?
We need to put it on the citation as it goes to the court.
Yeah. Just for future reference, I mean, I'm obviously an honest person, right? I told you I wasn't wearing my seatbelt. When people lie to you about that, like say I lied to you about that, right? My own knowledge. You honestly go back and look at that and just...
With a seatbelt like this, I didn't check as I was coming up, so that's why I asked you.
You usually?
I should. I noticed you weren't wearing it, and I'm on this emphasis, and like I said, I'm getting paid by ICD, and they want us to enforce the seatbelt law, so I was being more aware of that.
Oh.
Yeah, that's where I'm coming from.
Oh no.
Okay. All right, have a good night.
Oh no.
Let me tell you about some interesting things you probably didn't know. Spiders don't actually have muscles in their legs. They just move them using a hydraulic system powered by their blood pressure. And when they die, their legs curl up because the blood pressure is gone. That feels like such a simple thing to know that I just never would have known. There's a city in Morocco called Chefchaouen that is entirely blue. 1 in 140 people in the world are now a millionaire. There was a Chinese labor camp back in 2011 that had prisoners play online games like World of Warcraft for over 12 hours a day to generate virtual currency from the games, which then the prison guards sold for profit. Oh, the median annual pay during the Great Depression was 22% of the cost of an average home, and today it's 14%, meaning that it was easier to buy a home during the Great Depression than right now relative to the salaries that people are making. This is a picture of George Bush with Harambe's mother in 1998 before Harambe was born. Why? How? I didn't know Harambe was this connected to the happenings of the elite. Astronauts aboard the ISS do not wash or dry their clothes. They literally just wear them until they're too dirty or stinky, then dispose them by dropping them into the atmosphere to burn up during re-entry.
Stop scrolling because this has to be one of the strangest skinwalker encounters ever. Rachel said that she posted on Craigslist looking for a roommate. She said that rent was too much on her own and she was starting to fall behind. That's how she found Lena. Lena moved in a week later, and Rachel said that she was quiet, respectful, and honestly, very pretty. She had jet black hair, a nose ring, and piercings up both ears. She wore black all the time and looked goth and kind of mysterious, but Rachel said that she was very polite. But there was still something off. She kept the blinds closed, never really smiled, and always avoided the hallway mirror. She'd even cover it with a scarf. Rachel said that about a week in, Lena knocked on her bedroom door at around 2 a.m. and said, "Hey, can you tell your boyfriend to stop pacing the hallway? He's creeping me out." Rachel sat up. "Lena, I don't have a boyfriend," she replied. She said that Lena looked genuinely confused. She said, "I saw him, tall, pale, just walking back and forth. He didn't say anything." Rachel said that she didn't know what to say, and she barely slept after that. Over time, Lena started opening up. Late night talks, bits of her past, an alcoholic dad, bad dreams, her fear of being alone. Then one night, she casually said that she also practices witchcraft. Rachel said that she's Christian, and that caught her off guard. She didn't say anything, but that night she moved her Bible to her nightstand. A few days later, they were making dinner, and Rachel said, "You should call your sister again. You haven't talked to her since the funeral." Lena stopped and asked, "How did you know about the funeral?" Rachel said, "Your sister's. You told me the other night." Lena went pale. "Rachel, I never told you that," she said. The next night, Lena left for a job interview at around 6 p.m. At 6:15, Rachel said that she heard her voice in the kitchen. She stepped out, and there she was. Same hoodie, same hair, but she was too tall. Her limbs were too long, and her head was tilted slightly, like it didn't quite fit. Rachel said that she turned to her and smiled. Lena's smile, but stretched too wide, and she whispered, "She tells me everything." Rachel ran to her room and locked the door. She called to Lena, but no answer. She called 5 times. Lena finally called back. "Why did you call me 5 times? I was at my interview," she said. Lena moved out the next day. Her room was empty except for the mirror. It was still covered and cracked right down the middle. She still hears Lena's voice.
This is horrific. A whale has just died after it collided with a boat's motor in New Jersey. Now, the incident caused one person to fall overboard and nearly capsized the entire vessel. But even though the person wasn't injured, unfortunately, the same cannot be said for the whale because not long after, it washed ashore and succumbed to its injuries. So the big question that people are asking now is, why didn't they turn the motor off if they knew that a whale was near? Well, the answer is apparently they didn't. Reports say that this happened in a super shallow didn't they turn the motor off if they knew that a whale was near? Well, the answer is apparently they didn't. Reports say that this happened in a super shallow area of water which whales don't commonly go through. So as of right now, it's just being treated as a freak accident.
This is the most disturbing Japanese serial killer that you've never learned about. This is Tasoma Mayuzaki, and this is his real hand. If his name is hard to pronounce for you, don't worry about it. You can call him his nickname, the Human Dracula. Now, the reason you might not have heard about this case is because the details of this case are so disturbing that Japanese media tried to hide this. From 1988 to 1989, he was convicted of abducting, murdering, and mutilating young girls from the ages of 4 to 7. The way he would do this is he would drive to a local park or maybe even a playground, and he would have a friendly conversation with these young girls. So that way, they'd be able to trust him. The second they were able to trust him, he would then lure them into his car by saying, hey, I'll give you a ride somewhere. Once the child would get in his car, he would then strangle them and then mutilate their bodies. As if this isn't the worst part, he would and mail it to the victims. The victims' families by basically saying, you're never going to catch me. Wrong, because in 1989, he was literally caught in the act of little girl. He was arrested and put on trial, and he never took accountability. He had no remorse, and he kept blaming it for his or ego. He was eventually executed in 2008, and this is why your parents to never. They basically don't want the public to freak out about all of these cases. But if you want to deal secrets behind Japan, make sure to hit the like and follow button, and I'll explain them some in the next video.
For those of you who don't know, this is El Jefe, the only known wild jaguar in the United States. He was first spotted on a trail cam in 2011 in the mountains of southern Arizona. It was a huge discovery because they thought jaguars were completely driven out of the United States mid-20th century. And the remaining jaguars were hunted, including lions and tigers, but that's a different story. After 2011, El Jefe was spotted again in 2016 in the mountains of Arizona again. El Jefe became a hit on social media, but then quickly disappeared and wasn't seen again until last month. El Jefe was spotted again in Arizona, and researchers say it looks like he's thriving. It's cool to know that El Jefe can hold his own for over a decade as the only jaguar in the States. Follow for more fun facts.
Sauce the boss in the building. Sauce the boss in the building. Sauce the boss in the building. Sauce.
2012, the most requested Christmas gift by children in the UK was a father was murdered by a father before the movie was even released. And Tom Felton, who plays Draco Malfoy in the series of Harry Potter, had to pinch his hair every 10 days for just 30 minutes screen time.
The craziest true fact: wardrobe in a single washing load, and this saves both time and money. But what about the real scientific facts? You live longer than your taller counterpart. And guess what? You might have a reduced risk of certain diseases like cancer. And the best part? Information goes to your brain quicker because of your shorter nerve. So technically, you're a quicker thinker than other people.
3 signs that your phone has been hacked. Number 1, does your phone get hot on a regular basis? This is a huge red flag that your phone has detected a virus, making it work so hard that it overheats all the time. Number 2, have you noticed your phone battery dies really quickly? This is a sign that your phone has a Spyro app installed which runs in the background and drains your battery. And number 3, do some of the apps on your phone crash for no apparent reason? Oh, this is a big sign that something is interfering with your app's proper functionality, and it's usually called by a malware on your device. And literally, one of the only ways to protect yourself is by downloading a VPN. This will disguise your location, making it look like you're in a different country, meaning that your phone cannot get hacked. Now take a minute to share this message with all your friends and follow for more.
Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew. Part 14. There was a woman in the 18th century named Mary Toft who shoved dead rabbits inside of her and later acted as if she gave birth to them. And the doctors actually believed her until one of them discovered corn inside one of the rabbit's stomachs. More people have tapeworms than have dogs, which I guess makes them the most popular pet. Oh yeah, and this is what it looks like up close. So you know how every few pistachios you eat, there's always one that tastes a little bit different? Well yeah, it's because there's a dead naval orange worm inside of it. An octopus's penis is actually one of its tentacles, so if you ever got to pet one at SeaWorld, you might have just groped the damn thing. Dying from starvation is because your body used all of its resources in order to feed your brain. And as a last resort, it begins to digest the muscle around your most vital organs until all that's left is your heart. So you die by eating your heart.
Let's look at some crazy things happening in the world right now. Elon Musk now controls over 65% of all satellites that are orbiting the Earth right now. A new survey came out saying that nearly half of all parents, or 47%, admit to only staying together for their kids. 2 inmates conceived a healthy baby without even meeting. They used an air vent, bedding line, and a yeast infection applicator. Can't deny that was creative. An airplane departing Shanghai was delayed 5 hours after an elderly woman tossed coins into the jet engine for good luck. Flowers in Antarctica are starting to bloom, and experts are saying that that is not good news. Meta is going crazy and offering tons of money to top AI people, and offered someone $1.25 billion for one person. I think that's about what LeBron has earned in his entire career, if that, from a salary. And he said no.
Sauce the boss in the building.
This is why you need to be careful with dating apps. On November 15th, 2017, 24-year-old Sydney Louvre decided to meet Bailey Boswell in person after speaking on Tinder for a few days. For their first date, Bailey invited Sydney to come over to her apartment that she shared with her boyfriend, Aubrey Trail. 24 minutes after Sydney arrived to the apartment, her phone was turned off, and Bailey and her boyfriend Aubrey murdered her and chopped her body into 13 pieces using a saw. This attack was planned by the couple for a while, and there's even surveillance footage of them going into Home Depot and buying the saw and cleaning supplies. They then scattered Sydney's remains along the roads in Clay County, Nebraska, and it was found 3 weeks later. Investigators later found out that the couple talked about gaining power by committing murders and making videos of them torturing people. At the end of it, Bailey was sentenced to life in prison and Aubrey was sentenced to death.
Shout out to Sauce the Boss, of course, man. Who's in the building, man?
This woman used
Shout out to
Roblox
Sauce the
to
Boss,
instruct a
of course,
10-year-old
man.
girl
Who's in
on
the
how
building,
to murder
man?
a 2-year-old infant. This is 36-year-old Tara Sykes, and this story is incredibly disturbing. Tara Sykes' 10-year-old daughter was living with a different family, and she wasn't happy with it. So she got onto the game Roblox and started communicating with her 10-year-old daughter. And eventually these chats turned completely disturbing. Tara communicated with her 10-year-old daughter over Roblox and told her exactly how to kill this 2-month-old baby. At first, she told her daughter to drown the baby in a bathtub. Then she told her daughter maybe she could burn the baby to death with scalding hot water. And then eventually she settled on telling her 10-year-old daughter to drop the baby on its head. And sadly, that's exactly what her daughter would go on to do. Tara's daughter picked up the 2-month-old child of the people she was living with, walked over to the kitchen floor, and dropped the baby on its head, attempting to end its life. The 10-year-old girl would later tell authorities that she was horrified of her mother, and she was terrified about what her mother would do to her if she didn't carry out her disturbing instructions. Further investigation also showed that Tara had instructed her 10-year-old daughter to kill the 2 adults that she was living with at the time. She told her daughter to go cut the 2 adults' throats with a kitchen knife while they slept, and then instructed her to douse the bed sheets with aerosol spray and light the house on fire. Now, shockingly, the 10-year-old actually did douse the sheets with spray, but she told authorities she wasn't able to finish the disturbing act. Now, Tara has been charged with a number of different things, but her trial has not been officially started yet, so I don't know exactly what's going to happen in this case, but I do see Tara receiving an extremely long sentence, hopefully life in prison, because this entire thing is just so completely disturbing and messed up, and I really hope that she's never able to see the light of day again.
This is the Monroe Demon House, the Scare of America. This house has an interesting and very bizarre history, a history that includes serial killers and satanic cults. And when we visited, it was during a thunderstorm, so the energy was supercharged. Now, lots of previous owners of the house have gotten into bizarre accidents that have taken the lives of some of their loved ones, and they've been plagued with bad luck while they lived in the house. At some point, the home actually became a boarding house, and some of the tenants in the upstairs, which I'm filming right now, were performing rituals in their room. People don't exactly know what rituals were going on, but they have been confirmed by former tenants. And people think that these rituals opened up some sort of a portal that allowed a demonic being to come through. There were also bones found in the basement that were confirmed to be human bones. And people have seen something that looks almost like a deer or an animal prowling the halls. Now, let me tell you, this is one of the most intense places I've ever investigated. We had a crucifix that we set up on the wall fly off of the wall twice, all on camera. And the energy inside of this place was some of the darkest I've ever come across. And the spirits in the home told us of bones that might be buried in the backyard. And I later confirmed with the owner that ground penetrating radar had been used and that there are bodies in the back. If you want to see this full video, it's on my YouTube now. The link is in my bio.
Which zombie movie could you survive the longest in? Comment down below. Starting off, you have World War Z. Now, we have to take a step back. World War Z is not only a zombie movie, where these zombies are as fast as Usain Bolt, they're also extremely intelligent, to the fact that they don't just go to sound. They know where you are. It's almost like they're heat-seeking zombies. You also have to talk about the fact that they can climb on themselves and each other to create bridges, climb buildings, and even climb up to skyscrapers and helicopters. I'm realistically giving your survival chances probably 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes, depending on if you're in a rural place or a massive city. We then have to talk about 28 years later. Now, you don't only have to worry about regular zombies, because yes, they are zombies, but you have to worry about the alpha zombies, the ones that pretty much tell the other zombies what to do. Those are highly intelligent, take a ton of damage to unalive, and if there's one alpha zombie for every 40 to 50 zombies, I'd realistically say your chances of survival are probably a few hours. The last one has to be The Walking Dead. Now, these are probably the easiest zombies to survive. We don't have a ton of different variants of zombies. They don't run, they walk, and your chances of survival go up at least 80%, as long as you're not stupid. Don't forget to like and follow for more. Comment down below how long you could survive each movie.
Everyone needs to know what's happening in Angola right now. At least 22 people have been killed, nearly 200 have been injured, and over 1,000 have been arrested after the country exploded into protest this week against the government's decision to raise fuel prices by 33%. Human Rights Watch accused police of using excessive force against what started as largely peaceful demonstrations, but quickly turned into violent clashes with police, tear gas being fired, stores being looted, infrastructure being vandalized, and eventually it got to the point where the army had to be deployed to restore order. But here's where things get wild. You see, the government said that they needed to cut subsidies to fuel specifically because they have to reduce the financial pressure the government is experiencing right now. But Angola, as it turns out, is the second largest oil producer in Africa, yet the country still has a diesel shortage and they can't even meet domestic demand. This is because they don't have enough refineries. So despite the oil abundance, they are still having to import diesel and gas from other countries at high prices. And to make matters worse, their decision to increase fuel prices has led to a steep rise in the cost of public transportation, as well as a rising cost of food and other necessities. The opposition party accused the current government's policies of putting Angola in a severe economic and social crisis. And as one protester told local media, "We are tired. They must announce something for things to change
about you, and it's no one else like you is what they're getting. Positive vibes only.
Two places in the world.
Shout out to King Sauce Balls in the building. About you, and it's
first up, we've got the boiling lake. What makes it so dangerous is there is actually boiling magma underneath this lake. If you went swimming in here, well, it would be game over. It is that hot that it would literally burn all of the skin off your body. And next up, we've got Jacob's Well. No, it doesn't belong to anyone called Jacob. This lake is so clear that you can see right to the bottom of this cave. However, if you swam to the bottom of here, you are very unlikely to come out alive. The reason being, this lake has hidden caves, so if you did swim down one of them, you are very unlikely to make it out.
How does a fish falling from the sky start a wildfire? Well, that's exactly what happened in rural Canada. Firefighters were called to a brush fire near the village of Ashcroft, British Columbia. The blaze was so intense, it knocked out power and took nearly 5,000 gallons of water to extinguish. Later, investigators discovered the unlikely cause to be a fish. A local osprey had snatched the fish from a river 2 miles away and accidentally dropped it onto a power line. The impact caused embers to fall into the dry grass below, sparking the fire. Thankfully, no one was hurt, and the fish-dropping bird is still flying free.
The chainsaw for bureaucracy. Chainsaw!
My life, son.
Sauce the boss. It's his birthday. Everybody wish him happy birthday.
Oh, this is big right here, y'all. Everybody wish Sauce the official boss. Happy birthday, man.
We're back
Let's
once
go.
again.
Let's see it in the timeline.
You know, it's a beautiful day. If you're
I like
feeling
the-
down, just get you a bag
I
of
like
that